This is why Lisa probably hates me, because I do these comparisons and I tell you not to buy things. I feel like this video needs no introduction. We are just gonna get on with it. We're gonna do the color swatches, comparisons, like I always do, and then I will go into more details about the packaging, the texture, the formula, how the formula actually compares to her existing, and whether I personally enjoyed its new release. Okay, so if you want to see all of that, then just keep on watching.
This is the shade 189 Audrey, an iconic late 1950s, early 1960s salmon pink.
So this is Go Lightly and this is Dance Card compared to Audrey. And I'll just put them on the lips and I'll just get up close. I don't know if you can see Audrey, I think because of the white pigments, it's not as smooth. So Audrey versus Dance Card, and I think Dance Card, the formula, the Lucent formula, looks smoother on my lips compared to the new Rouge Experience formula. It's a little bit lighter in colour, Dance Card. I think the tone of it's more flattering for me than Audrey. Okay, so this is Go Lightly versus Audrey, and you can see Go Lightly is even more pale. I mean, Go Lightly was never a colour that suited me. Yeah, Audrey is a little bit better. Also, this is a shade that is going to make your teeth look a little bit more yellow. The other two shades are kind of similar in this salmon pink tone, is Wonder Wheel and Je ne sais quoi. I'm going to try Wonder Wheel and Je ne sais quoi for a comparison as well. So in terms of the salmon pinks, the shade Je ne sais quoi is more flattering on me because I think it's just a little bit more neutral leaning, or maybe a little bit warmer than Audrey. But these are the two shades compared. Wonder Wheel is more of a pink than a salmon pink. So I do think the shade Audrey is made for a very specific type of person, a type of skin tone, someone who probably does have really light skin and kind of peachy pink undertones. So it's not really suitable for my Asian skin with yellow and olive undertones. I think you can make it work. I can certainly make it work with another lip liner to kind of balance it, but it's not going to be an easy everyday shade for a lot of people, I think.
186 Ribbon is the ultimate classic pillar box red, a colour that is already existing in her collection.
Audrey at the top, Ribbon on the bottom. You guys know the shade Ribbon already. It's probably one of her really well-known shades, a blue-based red. I think this formula is very, very beautiful in this colour, but I personally prefer bold colours like this in a matte formula because I feel like the matte formula is somehow more modern and I just think it's a bit easier to wear. And if I wasn't filming this video, I wouldn't have bought the shade Ribbon because I prefer it in a matte formula, in a velveteen, actually, the liquid lipstick. And this is Ribbon Rouge Experience formula. This is a velvet formula. It just gives it more of a punch straight off the bullet, the velvet formula. And then we've got Palazzo in the Lucent and Atomic Cherry in the Lucent. I think Atomic Cherry is discontinued, but you can still get Palazzo. So we'll just put the velvet formula on the other half of my lips. So this is the Ribbon in velvet, and this is the new formula. It is identical shades, obviously. I mean, you can see the slight difference in the finish of the two. You can see how matte this is and how this is just a little bit more satin. Ribbon in this formula goes on beautifully smooth. I don't think it's as blurring as the velvet formula. It's really just what you prefer, really. If you prefer a matte finish, then stick to your velvet or the velveteen. But if you prefer a satin finish, then this is your new favorite red lipstick. This is Lisa.
178 Lisa is Lisa's perfect lively neutral pink.
Okay, so this is Lisa here. This is Kitten Mischief, which I think it might look similar on the lips, but on the back of my hand, I think they do look quite different. Velvet Fawn, Velvet Petal. Velvet Petal is discontinued, And then we've got Sunday Matinee. This is Velvet Intrigue here at the bottom, which is also discontinued. But if you have it, that's what it looks like. So Lisa, Kid and Mischief. So Kid and Mischief has a little bit more peach in it, whereas Lisa is more of a pink. I think Kid and Mischief is a touch warmer as well, whereas Lisa is a little bit more cool toned, just a little bit. Just a little bit. This is the shade Sunday Matinee next to Lisa. Sunday Matinee is still in stock. It's not the Velvet formula, it's the insanely saturated formula. I really like Sunday Matinee. It's definitely brighter than Lisa. Lisa is probably more everyday. Sunday Matinee just makes a little bit more of a statement. They look very similar in the bullet. Kind of the shade, the tone, the hue. This is Velvet Petal, is definitely more white in there in terms of pigment, but Velvet Petal is discontinued. And then we've got Romy 184. This is Romy compared to Lisa.
184 Romy is a muted, light, cool heather.
Romy has a lot more purple in it. There is definitely grey and purple in this pigment. I hope I can adjust my video footage properly so that it's not as warm, as I can see what it looks like on my screen, and it's not as warm on the screen. It's actually pretty cool toned in real life. It's actually matching to my eyeshadow pretty well. I'm wearing Ione on my eyes, a liquid eyeshadow, and these two are really matching well. And I think for me to wear the shade, I do have to wear more cool toned eyeshadows, otherwise it is not going to suit me. But this is Romy. Romy and Lisa do look kind of similar on the back of my hand, but really Lisa on the lips is so obviously more pink, much less grey, much less purple. And I don't really think we actually have anything in her existing collection that's similar to this shade at all. She's never made a shade that's this cool. So just in case you don't believe me, this is Lisa here, and this is Romy. You can see the two shades are actually really different.
182 Simone, a light tawny caramel.
This is a shade Simone. So I have to say, out of all the shades that I got, which is every single one of them other than Bohemian Cherry, none of the shades are really standing out and makes me feel like, oh my gosh, this is my new favorite shade. Whereas in her last collection, the Balm Embrace lip colors, even though the formula, I think it's kind of not as unique. I mean, this formula, I don't know, is it unique? I'm not sure. But anyway, like, I really loved loads of shades from that collection. I felt like pretty much all of them suited me. Whereas this collection, it's, yeah, a bit hit and miss. Mostly miss or near hits for my skin tone. But I think a lot of people out there are certainly gonna love the more cool tone shades. The shade Simone is also another cool tone shade. It is quite grey, and this is what it looks like here. That's Romy above it. I will compare the two. Kind of this similar colours that in her existing collection, they're all definitely much warmer compared to this. So like Velvet Muse or Velvet Intrigue, Velvet Petal, again, I don't really think there is anything similar to Simone. Okay, so this is Simone, this is Romy. You can see in the bullet, this is more purple. There's a little bit more purple in there for sure. This is more of a brown. So that's what they look like. I think if you have a few of the Victoria Beckham lipsticks, there are a few of them that are kind of like cool toned heather shades that are like this. So I don't think Lisa has anything existing in her collection, but obviously other brands may have dupes of these shades. So this is Simone, this is Kid and Mischief, this is Sunday Matinee, this is Muse, this is Petal, and this is Intrigue, and this is Fawn. So these are discontinued. Yeah, I think Fawn might be a little bit similar, Muse might be a little bit similar, but Kid and Mischief is certainly warmer for sure. So this is Muse. Muse packs more of a punch, and if I just bring up Simone here, I think you can see Muse definitely has more of that rosewood, that pink in there, whereas Simone is more of a straightforward brown, but that's what they look like. So this is Simone, this is Fawn. I think these two are probably the most similar. Yeah, in the bullet they are, I think it's difficult to tell for sure. On the lips, Fawn, I think it's a touch lighter in depth. And then we've got Ashes of Roses here. Ashes of Roses.
183 Ashes of Roses, an earthy rose.
Spirited Away compared to Ashes of Roses. Painterly, that's even more similar. Meet Me in Berlin is definitely more of a brown. And then we've got Affair at the bottom, which is much deeper than Ashes of Roses, but we will compare them anyway. So I applied Affair very lightly because I wanted to match the pigment level. It's warmer. It's warmer, it's more of a brown, there's less of that red tone to it. Ashes of Roses is a very nuanced shade, like Lisa said, and it's probably my top favorite, and then it's Simone, I think, out of the entire collection. Painterly, Ashes of Roses, they are very similar, even in the bullet. Painterly is definitely just a teeny weeny bit darker, and obviously being a different formula, it's got more shine to it. Spirited Away versus Ashes of Roses, again, quite similar in the bullet, but Spirited Away has a little bit more red. This is a shade Medici.
185 Medici Cool Mauve Berry Rose.
Is making my teeth look nice and white because it's very cool toned. And again, there is nothing in Lisa's collection that is like this. This I will compare to Romy because they're both that cool grey purpley shade. But in her current collection, really, there is nothing that compares to this. Nothing similar. So this is Medici, this is Romy. Honestly, I thought Romy looked quite purple on my lips already, but comparing the two together, you can see Medici is even more purple. This is Romy. This is Medici, so Medici is for sure darker. And by the way, if you've reached this point of the video and still haven't subscribed, liked or comment, make sure you do because that does really help me out. I put Ashes of Roses back on my lips with the 0N Sculpt and Shade lip pencil, and let's just talk about everything else that's not color related. So this lipstick, it is gorgeous. The packaging, it is absolutely stunning. It's also expensive. The whole component, including the covering and the refillable lipstick inside, it's £49. It's £25 for the refill themselves. She does have a discount system, so if you buy one whole thing and another refill, you get 15% off. So that means the refill is £21.25. And if you buy another refill, then it becomes £20 for the refills you purchase. So you can save some money if you wanted to buy multiples, but obviously it's still pricey. And in terms of our other products, the Balm Embrace formula is £26. The Velvet Lucent and Insanely Saturated formula is £27. The gloss is £20. And the lip pencil, so the matching velvet lip pencils, is £19. And the Sculpt and Shade, the newer formula, is £20. So it is certainly up there for price, but I can understand why, because the whole thing does feel incredibly luxurious, and she has, she's put a lot of work into this. The fact that all of this is 100% recyclable, and that is really cool, and it's, completely brand new on the market. There's nothing else quite like it. I just want to show you it's really easy to take out and put back in. Can you see how the bottom of the lipstick is not completely round, right? There's a bit that's flat, and inside the base of the refillable part, there is also a section that is not flat. So you just gotta line it up, and then it will just click in like this. And then the top, again, there's another click, and you can see kind of like the little points there on the rim, which keeps it in place. The actual bit in the middle with her name, Lisa Eldridge, is the component of the refillable lipstick, not the outside packaging, the permanent packaging that you get to keep. All of this is made in Italy and there's 3.5 grams of product in here. Her velvet lipsticks also have 3.5 grams, so you're having the same amount of product. There is really no smell to this lipstick at all. If you were put off by her previous release, the Balm Embrace, which did have a little bit of a scent, this doesn't have any smell whatsoever. So the texture of this, I know it's kind of more like a traditional lipstick finish, but the texture, when you apply it, it feels more like a gel because the first ingredient is that methicone, so it doesn't feel really, really slippy, and it goes on really smooth. Even just one swipe, you're getting a lot of pigment in there as well. So even though the finish is a satin finish that is similar to a traditional lipstick, and the way it goes on and the way it feels on your lips is much more modern and much higher quality. So I've worn this lipstick a couple times now. I've worn it throughout the day. It kind of lasts about 4 hours. You can probably stretch, maybe it'll fade completely by 6, but I think up until the 4-hour mark, you still have pretty good pigment. But obviously, if you eat anything, drink anything, it does come off a lot more quickly. How is this different to her existing formulas? The velvet, definitely more matte, more pigment, but I say the pigment level is probably similar. This new Rouge Experience lipstick has more pigment than you think. I was expecting it to be like the Balm Embrace level of pigment because she says it's like an everyday kind of lipstick, but no, it packs a lot of pigment. It's a little bit more pigmented than the luxuriously lucent formula. Don't expect it to be like a buildable formula. It's literally one swipe and you've got the full pigment. Comparing it to the Lucents, for sure, it's less shiny. The Lucents are more moisturizing, and I personally probably prefer the Lucent formula if I'm just comparing something that is not like a matte finish. I don't know, I think it's just the Lucent formula because if I want something shiny, I really want it to be shiny. But the Lucent does have less wear time because there is more kind of moisturizing kind of oils in there. This is also moisturizing, you know, it's not drying, it's comfortable, but I think it's just the way that the Lucent formula is going to be less long wearing than this one for sure. So if you want longer wearing, then this formula is probably better for you. And of course, we've got the Balm Embrace as well. And honestly, in my video about the Balm Embrace, I didn't rave about it, and I feel like, yeah, it's good, but it's not amazing. But I have to say, the lipstick that I reach for is a Balm Embrace because it is so easy to wear. I don't worry about it. I don't need to wear makeup. I can just put it on and it's fine, especially the shade Epanouie or Meet Cute, which are very neutral, lightly pigmented, so I don't have to worry about wearing a full face of makeup to wear lipstick. So even though I think the other formulas are kind of more unique and more worth the purchase, I can't stop reaching for the Balm Embrace lipsticks. But also that's kind of because I don't really have anything else in my collection that is similar. But out there in the market, in the shops, there are lots of things that's cheaper than Balm Embrace that is similar. So by no means I'm telling you to buy Balm Embrace. So the new shades that she's released in this new formula, they are quite unique because they are so cool toned. She's never released anything this cool toned. So if you've been waiting for that, then I think this is worth looking into because the formula is really nice and the shades are not dupable within themselves. However, there are a couple shades that are similar. Ashes of Roses is similar to Painterly Spirited Away. So if you like the Lucents in those shades, I don't really necessarily think you have to rush to buy this, but the only good thing is you're kind of more sustainable, I guess, in a way, because if you love Painterly and Spirited Away and you go through them and you keep buying more and like repeat purchases, then maybe it would make more sense to buy Ashes of Roses and then just buy the refillable part Does that make sense? But also, you know, you can always manipulate what you have already. So you're not buying something new. So the velvets, you can add a bit of a balm to change the finish. And with this, if you want it more matte, you can, you know, powder over it to make it like a matte lipstick. I am someone who doesn't want to encourage you to buy new things. I just want you to hopefully find this content useful. If you were really going to make a purchase, and maybe the color swatches will help you, and kind of my experience with the formula will help you. But I'm not someone who just says all positive things and say you have to get this, is the next thing. That's not me. Okay, and maybe that's why I don't get any PR from Lisa either, because I'm too sensible. But I adore Lisa, and obviously she's worked really hard on this release for sure. So if you like the shades, and if you're someone who goes through lipstick, then the refillable aspect makes complete sense. Then I think this will be good for you. If you prefer no makeup lipstick, then the Balm Embrace is still the one. I have to say, none of these new shades are tugging on my heartstrings because of my skin tone. They don't suit me that well, to be frankly honest. Ashes of Roses is pretty good, and I do like Simone, and I feel like Lisa, I wanted to really like Lisa, and I really wanted for it to suit me, but the Lisa shade, again, there's something about it that's a little bit off. So I feel like all of the shades somehow it's just like a little bit off for me. But if you're pale, if you are a cool toned lover, then I think you will really, really like this release. What are your thoughts? I'm so intrigued because I feel like this release is really different to her usual releases. And the fact there are more colors coming, I'm just thinking about my wallet. Honestly, there were so many shades I wouldn't have gotten if it wasn't for making the video. I'm crying for my bank account. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this collection. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.